welcome to Beyond the Bylines with myself and Joe Starkey. Tim Benz along with you here in the Trib Live Facebook live stream and on YouTube at Trib Sports. Thanks for finding out where you can find us, and thanks for finding us today. Joe is on at 10 o'clock out in Monroeville, so we're going to have to be a little condensed today, and then we'll obviously have a lot to talk about next week too, what with free agency and everything going on. The trade deadline is today in the NHL, but I don't want to talk any further, Joe, because I don't want to spend 301 words with an introduction like Pat McAfee. Great job out of you counting every word that Pat McAfee had before actually asking Aaron Rodgers a question.
Oh my God. And now I have the McAfee and Rodgers bros coming after me for doing that. It was maybe the worst interview ever conducted in sports television history, although you can't say it wasn't entertaining at times, right? And I know that McAfee's not a journalist and doesn't pretend to be, and he seems like a good guy, and he's wildly popular. He's a cultural phenomenon because he's not a journalist. But at some point, you got to ask the question,
right?
Are you coming back? It's a very simple question, and then get back to all the other stuff.
Or at least not crap all over A.J. Hawk when he's the one that actually asked the question. I mean, like, you're bringing Aaron Rodgers on. I get it. You're the anti-journalism show. Good for you. Great foundation to build yourself on. I'm happy it's working out that way for you. But if you don't have Rodgers on in this circumstance and you don't ask the question, what's the point of having him on? For his glowing and glittering personality? What, are we kidding ourselves here? I mean, ask the question. You don't have to apologize for asking a question that you never even ended up asking in the first place.
I mean, it should have been the first question.
And then move on and talk about drones over the house and his wife who he doesn't want to have photographed or whatever.
But he does want to mention in the very first sentence that he says about their relations. What are we doing here?
You know, if he's that worried about a bounty being out there for photographs, you know, the best way to nip that in the bud, release the photographs yourself. If you release the photographs yourself, there ain't no bounty for the first photographs. They'll pay you.
Listen, I took his advice when Aaron said, if you want to shut this off, if you're expecting news, shut this off now. I shut it off. I doubled back to see A.J. Hawk actually ask the question, which was tremendous because he never talks.
Right. And he was the one that actually came forward and gave everybody what they needed. When you and Susie got married, did you have drones?
I don't think, were drones even a thing back then?
I don't know. You tell me.
That was a long time ago. I don't think drones had been invented yet. No, there were no drones, no paparazzi, no nothing.
What'd you do for your bachelor party, Joe?
I didn't have a bachelor party.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I had 2 bachelor parties last year before my wedding.
Thanks for inviting me. I don't get
Thanks
invited.
For inviting me to your wedding, to your wife who I introduced you to.
I don't get invited to either one of your bachelor parties.
My first bachelor party was at Mike's Beer Bar on the first day of March Madness.
Good place to be.
And then my next bachelor party was at, we were in Newark, but we went to New York City, obviously, during the day. And then we went out to Newark for the Sweet 16 last year. And when it was Duke and Alabama and Arizona and BYU, that crazy regional that they had last year, it was fantastic.
Was Jerry DePaula there?
Jerry DePaula was not there. No, Jerry, though, did invite me to his retirement ceremony. Did you get invited to that?
Yeah, and then I forgot about it and caught crap for not showing up. Not from Jerry, from other people. I just forgot about it.
That was a Saturday night, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was good food. I remember that. It was great food. Jerry gave a moving speech. I think he even referenced you.
Did he?
I think you did get a reference somewhere along the way.
I guess I should have been there. I was sorry that I didn't show up for that because he's one of the, all kidding aside, one of the all-time great people in this business. Would you agree?
Yeah, Jerry's a wonderful person. By the way, congratulations on asking a press conference question the other night. Speaking of March Madness, we are underway with Robert Morris winning in their Horizon League opener. Now they go to Indianapolis for the semifinals and the finals. The Horizon League is swinging and missing on this, I think. They should just have the games at home venues instead of one regionalized location.
Yeah.
Like, I went back and covered that game for Robert Morris on Tuesday night just because I covered it the year before and I had so much fun doing it. I really didn't have to do it. Frankly, It got in the way of other things I was covering, but I wanted to do it because I had so much fun doing it the year before.
It was great, man. The atmosphere there is so much fun. And yeah, for the first time since maybe before COVID, I was trying to think about this. I asked a question in a news conference setting. I used to be the savvy old news hound. It's been God almighty, nearly a decade since I asked something. And who would have thought it would be asking Robert Morris basketball players about their scheme, their offensive scheme in the second half? Not me, Tim. I didn't have that on the old bingo card. You know what I thought of, though?
What's that?
Watching that game, I thought of Pitt football. I thought, isn't it smart and, well, obvious to fit the venue and the capacity to the size of your program?
Your expectations of the fan base and the crowd.
Yeah. So I don't want to get into an on-campus stadium again, but I was thinking, watching that, man, wouldn't it be great if Pitt had an on-campus stadium that was tailored to the interest level and the capacity, and it was raucous every game at like 35,000 people in a little bandbox? It would be fun. That was a fun night the other night. It was so loud, I couldn't even hear you. You were right next to me.
Well, you certainly couldn't hear Limits because he abandoned you.
Well, I also shut him off, so I wasn't listening to him anyway. Yeah, he did abandon me at the game.
Limits took you to the basketball game and then sat next to me because he needed a break from you.
Right. After he invited us to a party in the Eaton Park Club that ironically didn't have Eaton Park cookies.
I was just about to ask you that. Does the Eaton Park Club at the UPMC Event Center have Eaton Park products? Like, do they have the Eaton Park salad and soup bar?
No, we had wonderful macaroni and cheese, little barbecued pork sandwiches. I was just expecting a cookie. No complaints, of course. It was all free for me, but I expected an Eaton Park cookie.
I'm a big salad bar guy at Eaton Park.
So am I. Here's one of the great secrets in all of Western Pennsylvania. I feel like I shouldn't even be saying this, so I'll be very quiet. The Eaton Park salad bar to go. Tim.
Oh, yeah.
You walk in. The lady loads me up with 9 to-go boxes. There's no limit. I just go around and I have a stack like this when I leave of to-go boxes for the same price as anybody else who gets the salad bar.
It's like all you can eat shrimp. You want to be a whale, basically just opening your mouth and sucking in plankton. That's the way to do it.
I'm telling you, it lasts for 3 days.
Are you a big banana peppers and black olives guy?
No.
No, nothing like that. Bacon bits, egg shreds, anything like that? Yeah.
Egg shreds, bacon bits, and garbanzo beans for sure. Yeah.
The baby corn? Do you go with the baby corn?
No corn for me, but thank you.
I occasionally will throw the baby corn in there. They should have the salad bar at the Eaton Park place at UPMC Event Center. I think you're missing the boat there.
I agree, but again, it was all free and wonderful people over there. Marty Galosi, one of the greats. Yes.
Marty's a wonderful man. Yeah. It's too bad Limits cornered him on the way out and was trying to angle for a new job. So.
Unbelievable. And I saw Derek Schooley, the hockey coach.
RMU, big game coming up this weekend. I'll be on the call with Mike Pursuta on Flow Hockey. You can check it out. It's going to be the Penguins on Sportsnet. So we'll be on Flow Hockey. So you can watch us there. So it'll be Pursuta and me tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. They're playing in their first round game. They're hosting. They finished third just 3 years back. The program is just 3 years back. They finished in third place already in the conference. And they're hosting a first-round playoff series against Air Force starting tonight.
It's a big deal. How did, when they lost their program, I know there was a sort of a grassroots groundswell to bring it back. Where did most of the money come from to bring back that hockey program?
It was just private people, largely. I mean, there wasn't a lot of huge corporate investment or anything like that. You know what? A big part in helping get the team back, a couple of guys with former Pittsburgh ties. Ryan Malone was instrumental in that. Brett Kiesel had a lot to do with that. Sean Sweezum was doing a great job running Penn's Elite, had to do with that. Colby Armstrong did a lot with fundraising. It was just a lot of grassroots hockey people, and a lot of people didn't really want their names thrown out there and attached to it for like advertising reasons.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of private money behind it because people want sort of that middle tier of hockey. There's great grassroots hockey in Pittsburgh. You got the Penguins on top, of course, and you want that middle block of the pyramid, and that's where Robert Morris is right now.
Why isn't Chris putting little things along the bottom of what we're talking about?
He did. He just had it there. It said Joe loves salad. It was on up a second ago. Yeah, he just had it up a second ago.
I don't see any of it on my computer.
Well, maybe he's trying to. Joe's not paying attention. There it is right there.
I deserve that one. Did I ever tell you about my interaction with Sean Sweezum in the Steeler locker room once?
No.
Nice man, but very paranoid about his kicking, I think. I went up to him. They were going to Denver, which with the altitude, you can kick further, correct? Yes, it's correct. So I said, how far, what's your limit in Denver? Like, how far can you kick one? And he looked at me and he said, I know what you're trying to do. And I said, what? I don't. What am I trying to do? I'm just asking you a question.
I'm trying to define altitude.
It was unbelievable. And then another time, because he's a hockey guy, like you just mentioned, from Canada, and that's the important thing here, not my paranoid interactions with him. I asked him about the Phil Kessel trade, and he acted like I asked him for the nuclear secrets. I mean, it was unbelievable. And
he was a little paranoid as a player. Like he has loosened up significantly now, but I think somebody burned him in Washington or Dallas or something like that because he was always ready to have a fight, or not have a fight, but he was always ready to be. It felt like he was anticipating somebody taking down a path he was not supposed to go down.
Yeah, exactly. He was on guard. Well, I'd love to break bread with him now. Maybe Kabali did him wrong. I don't know. Maybe Gertie. I don't know.
Speaking of people loading up the takeaway trays like the Eaton Park salad, how many lobsters did he walk away with from the final day of Steelers training camp that one time?
Oh,
he practically cleaned out the ocean.
Oh, my God. For people who don't know, it used to be, I don't think it is anymore, that the last day of Steeler camp.
No, I think it is. I just don't think we're invited anymore. Well, I think it still is.
Right. There's steak and lobster.
Surf and turf.
It was unbelievable. And our friend Gertie would walk out with a to-go order that he didn't order. He just took the takeout part. He definitely got down. I should have thought of that. I mean, it was incredible.
Hey, speaking of your return to prominence as being a probing investigative reporter in post-game sessions, would you guys, I guess, be willing to deploy yourself as a 93.7 The Fan representative, or would you come on behalf of the Trib to ask the pertinent question of what the F is goalie interference in the NHL anymore?
I'm so sick of that topic. It reminds me of home plate collisions in baseball where nobody knows what the hell the rule is. Catch
in the NFL?
It's that too. Most prominently that. What are you going to do? How do you define it? What happened last night is a perfect example. I could get 50 people over there saying it was goalie interference and 50 people over here. My honest opinion was on the broadcast, they're like, oh, that was definitely goal. That was definitely a good goal. No goalie interference. I'm like, wait, didn't he get pushed by Letang? That's what I saw.
You thought Letang pushed him into him?
Yes. I don't know. That's the whole point. Neither does anybody else.
Yeah, it wasn't as clear cut as Muse was making it out to be because Letang did shove him. Now, to what degree did he shove him? Did he try to extricate himself from the blue paint or get off the goalie? Did he go willingly with the shove into the goalie to make it worse?
I don't give a crap. Really.
I will say this, though, like the paranoia, if you want to use the word paranoia again, the paranoia that they've got is they're just not getting any calls. Like you saw the most bizarre one was the Mantha one in New York. I mean, come on. They made physical contact. Did that hurt Shesterkin in one small degree for making that save? No. So their paranoia is coming from the collective, the overall, the continual, we never get any call. And then they melted down last night as a result.
So how do you fix it? That's my question. Whether it's this or a catch in football, it seems to be just, I don't know what the word endemic even means, but I think it's just part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to go back the days of was your skate blade an inch into the blue paint, and I don't think anybody wants to do that.
I don't, because it cost the Sabres a Stanley Cup. Remember that?
I do remember that. By the way, 80 points now, Joe. You might have been on board the wrong team to potentially win a championship in Buffalo. It might be them, for God's sakes.
They're good. They are fast and they are good. I watched them in Tampa over the weekend on a back-to-back night, hammer the Lightning. Now they come in here and beat up the Penguins. But the story from last night is Malkin, right? It's Gino. And here's what I'm not buying, Tim. And I'm sorry to abruptly switch topics, but that's the story. Here's what I'm not buying is the narrative that Gino has suddenly snapped because of his sudden contract demand and this thing with Kyle Dubas. I keep reading and seeing people on social media say, oh my God, now we've lost Gino because of this. The season's doomed. He's been doing that his whole career. What have you been watching?
Well, not only that, but I mean, like, if he can't separate his contract situation from playing, then I don't want to bother keeping him, because the same thing's going to come up next year, because he's going to be on a 1-year deal next year. So
right.
It's silly.
And he's playing great.
And by the way, when did Penguin fans become Pirate fans? When they want to becoming, these prospect hoarder pimps that only want to hold on to prospects and draft choices. What the hell happened here? Like, this used to be the fan base that would always want to swing for the fences and give up the prospects and picks. Now we're acting like every single potential draft pick the Penguins have and every prospect they have in their system are all Connor Griffin. They're not.
I'm with you 1,000,000,000%. Not 100, not 1,000, not 1,000,000%, 1,000,000,000%. We've had people on the radio. I've talked to people on the streets. You don't want to mess up team chemistry. You can't bring in Trocheck. Where would they put Tommy Novak? I don't know. Where would they put Tommy Novak? I love Tommy Novak. I love George Novak from Woodland Hills. I don't know where they're going to put him. But if you have a chance to add Vincent Trocheck, you add him, period. And then you worry about everything else later. What are we doing? And I wouldn't give up a first-round pick. Oh, my God, a first-round pick. You can't do that. You're everybody together now. You're mortgaging the future like Rutherford did. You just made 3 first-round picks. Trocheck would come in here and be signed for 3 years. He's pretty good. I'd worry about the rest later. Maybe that's just me.
No, it's not just you. It's me too, because they have 16 picks in the first 3 rounds of the next 3 drafts. And if people don't like Trocheck, if they think he's washed up, if he's not good enough, okay, fine. That's your opinion. I disagree. Top 20 in the Selke last year. A U.S. Olympian, great on the penalty kill, great on faceoffs. You're deficient when it comes to faceoffs and shootouts. He's great at both. People are like, where are you going to play him? There's a glut of centers. A glut of centers? That's like saying you got too much pitching. What are we talking about here? Oh, my God, it's $5.6 million. So what? Brian Rust is 5.1, and you got the second most cap space in the NHL. The other thing is he's 32 years old. We're talking about 32 years old in 2026 with a hockey player like he's a 50-year-old running back or Jerome Bettis in his last season.
Right.
Hand-wringing over the notion of getting a veteran center. Where are you going to play him? There's a glut of centers. You know where we're going to play him? He's going to be Matt Cullen. How did that work out? He was 40. Oh, my God, you can't give up prospects for people over 30. Bill Guerin was 38. Gary Roberts was 40. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, just because they're in rebuilding mode doesn't mean they have to adopt the Pirates mentality. They're trying to live in 2 worlds at once. So live in 2 worlds at once. You've got the first world figured out. You drafted 3 guys in the first round. You got 16 picks over the next 3 years in the next 3 rounds. You're doing that one fine. Like, they didn't get all of these picks and prospects to hold on to all of them. You think you've got a glut at centers with 4 guys for 20 games? What are you going to do when you use all of these picks and all these prospects? They're all going to run into each other. You can't call them up all at once. I'm done now.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm good.
That was good. That was real good. However, that's not the same for me, at least, as saying Dubas better make this deal. Anything,
he doesn't have to.
Anything to get Trocheck. I would actually be okay if he pretty much stood pat at this deadline, because he made a good point the other day on his radio show that he's made a ton of moves already this season. Chinakhov was an incredible trade. Shilovs has turned out to be an incredible move.
Unless someone touches him in the crease.
Right. Yeah. Or unless it's a shootout.
Shootout. Right. Exactly.
So if he stands pat, I don't think I'm going to have a huge problem with it. However, if he wants to take a swing, by all means, take a swing. You've earned it.
Did you see the Horvat goal last night, by the way?
No.
How about that? Exactly 1 second on the clock, clean win on a faceoff to end the second period. It echoed off the back of the goalpost for a goal. It was like Jerome Lane shattering the backboard against Providence. I mean, like, it was a fantastic goal. That was my favorite highlight of the night. My second favorite highlight of the night, you'll like this because you coach girls basketball. It was like Davenport, Iowa, or something like that. This team is down 5 with like 6 seconds left. Inbound the ball underneath the offensive basket, get a score. Okay, now they're down 3 with like 3 seconds left. The same girl throws the ball to the same girl accidentally on an inbounds twice in a row. They come back, they win. And the play-by-play call is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. This one guy's going crazy doing the call. Oh my God! How did that happen? And he just kind of lets it air out. And then there's a woman who's his color commentator, and he goes, nobody knows.
Man, that's a rough. I had a couple rough endings in my basketball season this year. Weird things happen in that sport at the ends of games. They really do. Do you watch the NBA?
Not often enough, but I mean, once I came back from Boston, I watched a lot of Celtics when I was in Boston, which was fun for me because I grew up a Celtics fan, but I haven't been able to fit it in my bandwidth since. No.
How about Jason Tatum coming back from a torn Achilles 10 months later?
It's like Terrell Owens.
It's like
playing
Aaron
on a broken
Rodgers.
leg in the Super Bowl, yeah.
Were you at that Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl I was at was the Malcolm Butler, Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch. But I wasn't at the game. I was at Super Bowl week, and then I came back and watched. It was an absolute blizzard in New England. Hey, look, you got to go here. So we got to do our Trib Treats.
Trib Treats.
I got to get to my Trib Treat.
Please.
And that is Joe's cartoon mock-up for Cup of Joe. There it is. Joe, look at you. You look like Mr. Rogers and Chief Wahoo, the old Cleveland Indians mascot, had a baby. Look at you.
That. Look at that. I actually like it, though. My eyebrows look like Mr. What's that guy's name with the eyebrows?
Eugene Levy?
Well, him, yes, but there's also a Mr. something who had big eyebrows. Who was it?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Neither do I. But
you
people
look like Mr. Eugene Levy from Schitt's Creek. That's who you look like.
Well, I like it. It was who designed it? Somebody
I don't
named
know.
Joe, I think, designed it. I think it should be more prominently featured on my Cup of Joe, which is a short column, 350 words or less, that I do just pop-ups from time to time.
Mr. Magoo, somebody's saying Mr. Magoo. Is that
Mr. Magoo?
Yeah,
that's exactly
Thank you,
right.
Frank, for checking in. Mr. Magoo.
Thank you, Frank.
What is your Trib Treat before you go?
You just reminded me of it. Josh Miller, I miss him. I used to do radio with him. He's a very funny man. He's back in Pittsburgh, and he had a hell of a punt in that game. In the Super Bowl, the TO Super Bowl that he played with the broken leg against the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots had to punt from their own end zone late in that game. I think it was maybe a 1-score game.
Yeah.
And Josh later told me that Belichick said, just get the blanking ball and get rid of it. Like, he didn't care if it went 30 yards, 40 yards, get it and get rid of it. I think it was actually a 2-score game at the time. And Josh delivered a clutch punt in the Super Bowl. And I miss Josh. He made a brief cameo appearance last year on The Fan. A very naturally funny man. He had me down to Florida once. Did you know that, Tim?
No, you're going to Arizona. You're catching a flight to Arizona to go play golf this afternoon. Wasn't that part of your show yesterday?
I thought about that, yeah. I thought about doing that.
A long trip to just go play golf.
I know, but you fall asleep and you wake up and you're in Arizona. Have you ever been there?
I've been there. Well, that's where that Super Bowl was before the Patriots and the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona. So you got to go. So Friday free-for-all before we go. Our Friday, whatever we call this. Friday free-for-all, right? Yes. Friday free-for-all. Jimmy Buffett, yes or no? You a fan? It was Jimmy Buffett night at PPG Paints Arena last night.
A fan of one song, Margaritaville. And when I first moved to Pittsburgh, they used to have a place at Station Square where you could make a music video. And I put on some weird styrofoam hat and sang Margaritaville after a couple pops.
Those are the days, Joe. I wish I knew that Joe. I never knew that Joe.
That Joe was interesting. He used to make videos of Margaritaville at Station Square.
What was yours? What's your Friday free for all?
My Friday free for all is playing the guitar, which I'm going to be doing this weekend. You need to come and watch me in a coffee shop there or a pizza place. There's a place called Antonio's in Brookline. And my free for all is that I need to learn about 5 new songs and that you need to come out with your lovely wife and watch me play one night. Would you?
I will do that. Yes. I can't do
You're
it
never
this
free.
weekend.
You're
Huh?
busy every night of the week.
How about after the draft?
Okay, so 3 months from now, you'll come out and watch me play?
Well, I've got hockey this weekend.
Where
Then we
do you
got the
live?
draft, and then I'm going to be in California for a little bit.
Doing what?
I'll be out in California and then eventually Vegas for the Frozen Four.
Where do you live? I don't need your address. But
The north side. There are coffee shops here on the north side. You know,
Yeah.
you could do it at Alphabet City. They always have people that do that because they come down and do that thing at Alphabet City.
Okay, so if I did that impromptu on like a Wednesday night, could you pop
Yes,
over for
I
a
could
minute?
do a Wednesday night. Yes, we'll
All
come
right.
down. Exactly. And then we can
All
have an
right.
Italian dinner right next door. Is Susie coming?
She may, yeah. She doesn't like when I play the guitar for some reason. I don't know. It annoys her. Maybe it annoys everybody else too, but at least come watch
What if you
me.
do it on the show? Do it on Beyond the Bylines. Can you just like strum acoustically?
I could. Next,
Yes.
let's do that next week, as long as we're not breaking any copyright laws. Like if I sing like a Bob Dylan cover on this show, are we
On
breaking?
YouTube, you can do that. Yes, because
I can do that on this show.
Yes, you can. Yes, because there's covers of every song ever made on YouTube. Yes.
All right, I'm bringing my guitar next week to Beyond the Bylines.
Okay. Can you just kind of strum in the background and just have our own soundtrack as we talk
Sure.
the whole time?
Yeah, it'll be like if you're in a hotel and there's somebody in the lobby playing the piano. We can do that.
Put a tip cup out there, and people can virtually tip you. All right, you
Consider
gotta
it
go.
done.
Get out through the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. I don't want to make you late, and I don't want you to like get mad and throw your guitar before it ever happens next week. So
Yeah.
we'll see you next week. All right, we'll be back
See you,
next
buddy.
week as well. Beyond the Bylines returns. We'll have plenty to talk about with NFL free agency underway.